of you earlier, I'm the lady who was warming up a trombone in the toilet. No, it's not, it's my gigs. Hi, nice to meet you. Basically, I'm a trombonist, right? I've been a trombonist since I was 11 years old. I've always wanted to be a trombonist. But my mum tells all of her friends that the way I earn my living is that I'm a tromboner. She just makes it even worse. She says I'm a Trump boner. Oh, I know, as if my job as a Trump boner is just to follow around Donald Trump with his own little inner soundtrack that sounds like this. I don't think you get a soundtrack if you don't have a soul. Oh, sorry, after Windrush, I'm going to put that tag in there. But I mean, I have noticed that the UK is definitely in a state of fear and paranoia. I mean, I heard that you guys were 68% Remain, fair play. But in parts of the country, I have noticed that it is in a state of fear and paranoia because I keep having people coming up to me after my gigs going, Faye, aren't you worried about all these people coming over here and taking our jobs? And I'm like, you know what, I think I'm safe. Comedy trombonist. It is very nice to be in St Albans, because I'm from an area of South London called Croydon. Yeah, thanks. So, obviously, unfortunately, naturally, I did fall into a gang. The Croydon Youth Orchestra. We're the guys that mugged the previous two acts. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't always just into orchestral music. When I was 19, I tried to convince all my friends I was really into drum and bass. Just turned out I like taking ecstasy. I was born in a hospital in Croydon called Mayday Hospital. Do we know it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Or as the medics like to call it, May Die. Yeah, I mean, I was 2 months early, right? I was really, really premature, and the doctors weren't quite sure how I was going to pull through, right? So they told my parents I had a thing called global development delay. I know, like, I wasn't even locally delayed by Croydon standards, I was globally. Like, basic global development delay is where you've got a kid and you're not quite sure if they're going to meet the same developmental milestones as other kids their age, right? Like, my speech was really underdeveloped, so I had speech therapy till I was 15 years old. Which probably explains why I have an accent that is a cross between the West Country or like I was educated at a private school in Highgate. Where in fact, because we don't have ethical education in this country, my parents sent me to a convent school in Croydon, which had very positive academic results as well as pregnancy tests. But also let me develop, I used to crawl backwards, right? Or as I like to call it, the moon crawl. And I couldn't read or write till I was 8 years old. Yeah, and like when I was at school, like it was in year 3 before they'd even noticed I couldn't read or write, and I really wanted to learn an instrument, right? And my head teacher told my parents I'd be too stupid to learn how to play an instrument, I'd be too stupid to learn how to read music, right? So I blew a raspberry at her. And then the brass teacher took me on, so, but like home life was a bit of a funny one as well, because my parents are teen parents. Any other teen parents in the house? No, we're in St. Albans. Okay. Yeah, like my dad, basically, like, he was a punk, right? He once shouted "fuck yeah" on the Sham 69 record. Okay. He's now the most depressed BT worker ever. He was also the kind of guy who would always do the DIY himself in the house. I don't know if anyone else feels guilty of that. Yeah. Like, we didn't have we had plaster walls, so I was 13. We didn't have a washing machine that worked well. I was like, definitely in sixth form. But like, over all the plaster walls, I used to draw all over the walls, but I'd sign it off by my sister's Laura's name. But no one ever fell for that ruse, because Laura didn't spell her name with a K. It's like my mum, bless her, like, my mum always just wanted to be a big sister, right? Like, when I was 13, I went out with my older sister, Laura's ID, and when I got my belly button pierced, right? My mum's way of punishing me was to go out and get her belly button pierced. And we've always had this kind of relationship. When I was 19, right, I was dating an older man, and I wasn't dating an older man because I have issues with my father. I'm just really competitive with my mother. I'm scared of long-term commitment. I feel like before I get into this next bit, I really need to declare that my mum is a fantastic mother, right? She's a fantastic mother, just to other people. You see, like, my mum's a foster mum, right? She's been raising kids for over 30 years, which is quite incredible. So, like, my older sister's 38, my littlest sister is 6. I'm one of 7, so we're a bit like a netball team, but the 6-year-old's shit because you can't pivot. It's just like my mum's expecting more kids than Madonna, I'm gonna be honest, but like, I asked my mum like why she went into foster and respite care, and she said actually it's because I pulled through a little bit, and she felt a little bit guilty that she got to take her baby home and I grew into this. Yes. But I asked her why she called me Faye, and she said, well, we wanted to call you Beth, but we thought you sounded too much like death. Way to find out about postnatal depression, isn't it? She was like, Faye, to be honest, for the first 2 months of your life, you were called Joy in your little incubator, but you were a fucking miserable baby. So we settled in Faye, which in Greek means beautiful and in Cantonese fat. Naturally, I'm an oversharer. A little bit about me, I shave my vagina. I shave my vagina to make it look bigger.